Bravo.
U.S. President Donald Trump signed the Iran Memorandum of Understanding at the Palace of Versailles on Thursday, June 18th, just prior to a dinner hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron. A video shared on social media by the White House Deputy Chief of Staff, Dan Scavino, shows Trump signing the document with Macron applauding at his side and U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio standing behind him. The signing of the interim agreement to end hostilities occurred during the G7 summit in France. The United States and Israel launched the war on Iran on February 28th, assassinating the 86-year-old Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and top military officials on the very first day.
The exalted soul of the leader of the great Iranian nation and the pioneer of the Islamic Ummah, His Eminence Imam Khamenei, has ascended to the highest heavens by drinking the sweet nectar of martyrdom in the blessed month of Ramadan.
It then spiraled into a broader regional conflict that has driven up energy prices, renewed inflationary pressures, and sparked concerns about a major food supply crisis in developing countries. The memorandum includes an immediate end to the war on all fronts, including Lebanon, the full resumption of maritime traffic in the Strait of Hormuz, the lifting of a U.S. blockade of Iranian ports, the waiving of U.S. sanctions on Iran, the unfreezing of its assets, and a plan worth $300 billion for the economic rehabilitation of the Islamic Republic. Iran also undertakes not to build nuclear weapons, reaffirming a vow it had made for decades.
Mr. President, please, just one question for French TV and the Iran deal. Just one question, please.
You signed the deal?
You signed the deal?
the MoU?
It's signed, yeah. We signed?
I signed it in Versailles.
What?
I just signed it.
How long will you leave the U.S. military in the Gulf?
It's a good question. We haven't thought of it. We're really, probably a while. It's a good place to stay. The question was, how long will you leave the military in the Gulf? I would say a little while. See how it all goes. I think it's going to go well, but we'll see. So I will see you guys at Versailles.
Can I follow up quickly on something you said in the press conference? You said you don't mind Iran having ballistic missiles. Can you elaborate on that? I want to make sure we understand your position.
No, I'm saying that if other countries have them, it's a little bit unfair for them not to have some. A ballistic missile is not the same thing as what we're talking about when we talk nuclear. But if Saudi Arabia and Qatar, and they all have some, I would say in relative proportion, I think it's okay. That's what I mean. Okay?
Mr. President, how important is it in the MoU, which just came out, that Iran commits not only to not pursue nuclear weapons, but also resolve the nuclear dust?
It's great. Much less important, because it's very hard to get at that. I don't think anybody could get at it. We could get at it with great work and a lot of time. But the B-2 bombers and those great pilots, now you understand they did their job. So much less important than not having a nuclear weapon.
What are you expecting tonight at the dinner? Is this kind of part of a long farewell to President Macron?
No, not really for that. I think he's just honoring our country. And you have the biggest people from Europe, great people. You might have a list. You have a list of the people? Very impressive group of people.
There was a hot mic moment at the G7 where the Canadian Prime Minister was talking to you about their Chinese car cap, and he said you like it. Can you comment
I
on
like
that?
what?
The cap that Canada put on Chinese car imports. You were talking about it with Carney.
Well,
what do you think of that?
I don't know that I said I like it, but I could understand that, yeah.
Is that a
A cap?
factor?
Would I rather see a cap than no cap? Yeah, I would. On Canada.
Would the U.S. ever consider allowing Chinese cars?
Well, we haven't. They pay over 100% tariff, so we don't have the problems that Europe has, or Canada.
How long do you hope USMCA negotiations or reviews go on?
Well, it's not something that's, to me, I think it's better without it. I mean, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of it. I liked it because it got us out of NAFTA. In other words, after 6 years, you had a clause that got us out of NAFTA. That's the thing I liked about it most. We do better without an agreement.
Do you want to just leave it in rolling?
I would rather leave it unsigned. I'd rather have it terminated.
You'd rather have it terminated? No, those are different things, sir. I just want to become clear.
I would rather not have the agreement, but I may sign it.
Right.
But I would rather, we do better as a country if we don't have an agreement.
So are you thinking of...
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe we won't be able to make a deal. I would rather not have the USMCA. The primary reason I wanted it was because there was no way out of NAFTA, which was the worst trade agreement ever made, like ever. And they had no termination. And it was very hard to get USMCA for that reason. And I had a 6-year clause. Who would have thought I would have been here in the 6 years? They got it 6 years because they hoped I wouldn't be here. My term was supposed to be over with. So on top of everything else, it comes to, I would prefer not having an agreement, but I'm open to doing it. We'll see what happens.
So as of now, it's just going to stick around for 10 years. You're okay
We're
with
not,
that?
no, it's not sticking around. It'll be terminated. In other words,
After a decade.
it expires.
Yeah, in a decade.
It expires.
Yeah.
I prefer that.
In the first paragraph,
I view it as possibly expiring immediately.
in the first paragraph of the Iran memorandum, it says no use of force, but also no threat of the use of force. You talked about bombing Iran if they didn't comply. Is that a threat? Would the Iranians see that as?
If they don't come through, is it a threat that we'd bomb? You can call whatever you want, but it'll probably happen. Thank you. I will see you at Versailles, and you're going to go back and tell the New York Times you're going to change your whole way of life. Okay?
Do you see the 60 days as a hard deadline for final agreement?
No, I don't. No. Could take longer.
So you could extend.
You could extend this phase.
I don't view it as hard now.
You don't think of it as a hard
No,
deadline? for
just as
final-
long as they're behaving, I really don't care that much.
Did you talk to leaders about Greenland, sir?
That who?
Greenland? Did you talk about Greenland?
No, we didn't discuss Greenland.
Not at all?
I should discuss Greenland.
Does Ukraine now have the advantage on the battlefield? What's the situation?
Well, they're doing pretty well. Russia's a big country, big, much bigger military, but they're doing pretty well. They're holding their own. They have great equipment with our equipment, don't forget, but they're doing pretty well.
Are you going to send in any more U.S. military help?
Well, they pay for it.
Yeah.
I send it to Europe. Europe pays for it. NATO pays for it. Unlike Biden, where he gave $300 billion worth of equipment away.
Sanctions on Russia. What are you going to do about that? Sanctions on Russia, like the oil waivers.
Yeah, I may put them back on. I wanted to make sure that oil stayed as low as possible. Now that the oil price is way down, where do you see those numbers? But it's way down. I may put it back on. Thank you.